Hello, this is Angelica. This is what it's like to be a survivor of trauma who has C-PTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Um, I'm just lying down in my bed. I'm fine. I'm just lying down in my bed because my physical vitality is not where I need it to be right now. I'm going through some physical issues as well that are not public yet, and that has an impact on it. It can also, your physical health can also impact how you feel emotionally as well. At this point in life, I'm 62. I've been in treatment for CPTSD for 26 years. And this is Mental Health Awareness Month of May. And a day of action is showing itself. So I thought I would speak just briefly, not too long, about what it's like to deal with trauma that rises and falls. Trauma causes grief because it's about loss, loss of vitality, loss of trust, belief. There are many things involved in it. Traumas take different forms. Mine has been sexual violence mostly, and narcissistic meddling that was psychological throughout life. A trauma survivor does not ask to be harmed or hurt. Those are false beliefs that are untrue. We don't draw it to ourselves with the intent to do so. We're high risk. There is a scale called the ACE scale that people should look into that will talk about adverse childhood experiences. That's real. It's a scale. High is 4, mine is 7. So please understand that that has a serious bearing upon how people interact in the world. What we do as parents will impact our children for life. I'm not a victim. I don't believe in victimhood. I take responsibility for my life, or I would not have put myself in treatment and stayed in it for 26 years. At this point, I still need it, even at 62. And it began 26 years ago in 1995. So that should say something about longevity of believing in the efficacy of good professional care. I'm just lying here, quietly thinking about what I've been through in the last 9 or 10 years. Sometimes a part of us will wait until later in life when we feel as if we can handle facing something. In my case, apparently a part of myself needed to wait until seniorhood to recognize what was driving some aspects of life. This is not re-experiencing childhood trauma. We cannot. The reason that we can't is because of developmental stages in life, and also because of the fact that a child developing brain is not an adult brain. That means that you can't re-experience it the same way. Of course you would not. And to re-experience childhood trauma incurs flashbacks. That's what that is. We're taught to be fully present by professionals. That means we do not immerse in the past. We're present here in the present time in order to avoid doing such things. It takes away from our good functioning if we are focused only on the past and not on the present. We have to understand how it impacts us as adults. That's what the focus is. And that is why so many of us struggle in relationships with people not comprehending that we are not living in the past, we're living in the present, but what happened to us in the past impacts the present. There is no way it cannot, because it is brain related. It is not isolated. Everything that happens to us is stored as memory somewhere in us, even in our physical body. It has places that it's stored that have no words. That is why there is confusion about things like psychosis, for example. It's not for everyone. A body memory is not psychosis. Ask a good therapist and they will tell you the truth. Please do not listen to those out there who are lay people who have no training, speaking opinions about things they know nothing or very little about. I was taught well enough as a student in college at East Carolina University, as a budding teacher, to understand the mind. I took psychology because it was part of the coursework. I had to. Due to that, I became a behaviorist because I had to help shift children into behaviors in which they could be open to learning. It's not ritual abuse, but there were rewards and punishment that went along with it. Any good parent is aware of rewarding and punishing children. Okay, just think of it from that perspective. If you want to change your children's behavior, there are ways to do it, but we were taught specifics. That means that focusing upon those kind of aspects and breaking skills down into smaller steps are what people have been taught who had that path as a career path. That is one of the reasons why folks like me have been able to be functional throughout life. We learned how. Some of this was coped with long before I began psychotherapy many years ago. As of today, I'm just a tired old woman, or if you want to say woman, say it. I could care less. Some people are upset over the non-binary pieces I present as physically feminine to you. So be it. I don't care what you think. An opinion is an opinion. I know who I am from the inside out. That's the other piece. As far as the mental health awareness, I'm not militant when it comes to that. Why? Because I have two descendants beyond me. Therefore, I can't claim that I never had that part of myself. I do, and I would not anyway, and I certainly don't say that about other people. I'm not veering off the path. My PTSD is based in sexual trauma, period, with narcissism driving that. This means that any time that something has occurred, it had some piece of that within it throughout my life. I wanted to get this out. This will go on my personal page. I'm not placing it too many other places. Please take care of yourselves. What you see me doing is relaxing at home in my own bed. The dog's beside me, but you don't get to see him. He's snoozing. So please understand, if you can, when we disclose parts of our lives, as advocates, we're encouraged to. This was not attention seeking on my behalf at all. It was taught. NAMI teaches it, and other organizations have too. This is why there was a misunderstanding amongst some people not comprehending that advocacy is not victimhood. Take care of yourselves this weekend. We switch to Pride Month, June the 1st. NAMI has, in Eastern North Carolina, a Pride event coming up for the LGBTQ community that I am now part of as non-binary. And because it has a mental health focus, because it does, the request is this: please do not accuse trans and non-binary people of being mentally ill. We are not. That did not cause what we're going through. The trauma causes us pain that comes out as PTSD of those who were non-accepting of us as children. We're not mentally ill because we're trans or non-binary or not gender specific in some way. We've been abused by those closest to us who should have been the ones to unconditionally love and accept us. Please love people around you. Take care of yourselves this weekend. And understand that not everything is as it appears to be. Be well. I am doing the best that I can. And let me say this one time. It is okay to not be okay sometimes. We all go through it. It's just part of being human. Be well.